even ready for this segment yet. Here we go. Even as British police were sorting out exactly what happened in today's terror attack on the London Tube, President Trump jumped on the moment to tout his travel ban. What is he doing here? And also, what's he doing, well, here as well? Bringing up what you'd think he'd be happy was finally in the past, his controversial comments about violent attacks in Charlottesville, Virginia. The panel with me tonight. Steve Rogers is here, a former advisor to the Trump campaign, now on the advisory board for Donald Trump's re-election campaign. David Catanese, senior politics writer at U.S. News and World Report. Keith Boykin is a CNN political commentator and former Bill Clinton White House aide. And Kevin Sheridan, the former senior advisor to Republican Mitt Romney's presidential campaign, also a former spokesman for the Republican National Committee. All right, gentlemen, let's get to it. David, Charlottesville, why is he going back there? Widely criticized from Democrats, sure, critics, sure, Republicans in basically a lot of his party, exactly. And he only, when this came up, he was really only asked about a meeting he had had.
Yeah. He's a stubborn man, we know this, and he thinks he was right on the merits, even after his advisors tried to course correct, even after they gave him a statement. You know, I think he'll go back and talk about it again. I thought it was also interesting. I mean, he was up on the plane coming back from Florida. He was talking about a lot of stuff, and that's where it can get dicey. I mean, he should have been talking about focusing on hurricane relief. That was the whole part of the day, because he's right. What is the media going to come back to? We're going to come back to Charlottesville, and that's what we're doing right now. And I think you've got a lot of people in the White House that are anxious over, they thought they were over it. And it's going to be a reoccurring issue with him.
Steve, when it comes to this, the president's stubborn. He had what seemed to be a real heart-to-heart with the only African-American Republican in the Senate, Tim Scott, and he's still, this is where he stands. Would you like to hear the president talk about this differently, or at least stop talking about it?
Look, this is who he is, and what he is clearly articulating, and he's done this from the beginning. He's condemned white supremacy. He condemned the KKK. He condemned all that was going on down there. And what he did was, and continues to do from time to time, and I don't see any problem with it, is to explain that in the case of Antifa, you do have bad people on both sides. I worked as a police officer on the streets, and there are bad people on both sides. Not that they're all bad. There were some innocent good people down there. And he got in trouble for saying that there were good people. You know who the good people were? The citizens down there who wanted peace, you see? So instead of everyone getting all worked up trying to interpret this and that and dissect this and that.
Here's the thing. The one thing the one thing that is real clear is that one word, everyone. Why is it then that everyone is not hearing what you said?
Well, I will backtrack and not say everyone, okay? I will just say the left and those who don't like them. So I won't say everyone.
Which is most of all elected Republicans in Congress?
No, I wouldn't say that. There are a lot of them that do like him, that do support him. He got elected as president of the United States.
I know a lot of them like him and support him. I'm saying elected Republicans in Congress do not agree with what you said.
Oh, they say that publicly. They don't have the guts. They don't have the courage to stand up for what they really believe in. That is a fact.
His own advisors came out and said that they didn't think it was strong enough. Gary Cohn, National Economic Advisor. I mean, this is the guy closest in the West Wing, and he came out and said publicly that he didn't agree with the president's statements. I mean, it was his own team.
Look,
this isn't the left.
This is a democracy. His team and his advisors, they're part of a democracy, and there's going to be those who agree or disagree. Sure. But the fact of the matter is, a lot is being made about something that's over.
Keith, is a lot being made about something that's over?
No, the point that Steve didn't mention was that when the president first spoke about this, he said there were good people on both sides. On one side, there were people marching who said, Jews will not replace us. People who were chanting White Lives Matter and who were using the N-word. People who ran over and killed someone. Those were not good people.
They're bad people.
But he would not say from the beginning that those people were all bad. There was no good in people who were part of that group.
Be it stubborn or be it something that no one knows, be it undisciplined, be it something else, Kevin. Does this show that no matter what, and it was widespread backlash. I mean, this was kind of an unusual moment when this came at the president in his reaction to this. Does this, what he said here, show that he hasn't learned anything from it?
No, I think it shows us again that Donald Trump is never going to let a media fight go. And if he can put it in the context,
is it a media fight?
That's how he thinks of everything. I think. I think this is a much bigger issue than that, and I think he should be much clearer And I think I agree with everybody who criticized him when he wasn't clear enough when he came out and said it in the first place. He doesn't need to be picking fights about Antifa right now. This is not for him to make. There are lots of people criticizing Antifa. The left should be criticizing Antifa. They should denounce violence on their side. We should denounce any violence in our party, on our side. Anybody who wants to
but don't combine these things.
May
we just need to move on.
May I suggest he was clear enough to be elected president of the United States?
Well, that's not
clear.
Okay, we're gonna have a debate.
These are conflating two things. These are conflating two things. Okay. Anyway. Add to this, Charlottesville, then you've got a string of tweets today. The president taking on an ESPN anchor, him saying his travel ban should be even tougher in response to the London attack today. The president boasting about his success against ISIS and also railing against chain migration. If you look at him, they don't all seem to be connected, David. But can you actually read all of these tweets as a whole? What is he trying to, you don't think he's trying to say something with all of them?
We go through this every week. Is there a strategy behind the president's tweets? There is no strategy. This is stream of consciousness. What he decides, he gets up watching CNN in the morning or whatever he's watching, and he's responding. He tweeted about Hillary Clinton the other night because she's back in the news, and he had to get a crooked Hillary thing. I mean, there is no strategy behind this. That's why there's no really policy and there's no focus. I think this goes back to the bigger issue of why healthcare didn't work, because this was supposed to be tax reform month. And we're talking about, he's talking about deals with the Democrats on DACA. He's talking about
But that's the thing, and that's what folks are saying to me. They're saying, Kate, what was the narrative yesterday? I hate that word narrative, but I just said it. It's Donald Trump makes deals with Democrats. And so what does he tweet out today? Things that his base are going to love. Yeah. Do you think there's a tweet for one and then I'm going to do something else?
No, I think you're absolutely right. He's responding. He's responding to anything he sees in the media. He's a creature of TV, especially, and he's going to respond and critique it in real time. I mean, he's a pundit more than anything else. I mean, look, I won't agree with you though that it's not a strategy. There is something behind it that's bigger than I don't know.
What does he get out of this week? Those stream of tweets. Look at them all together.
Like what the strategy? But it works as a strategy.
I mean, constant chaos.
It's a chaos strategy.
The Prime Minister of England criticizes his tweets, but didn't have the courage to criticize the Mayor of London when he said, hey, this is a way of life in our city. Maybe a bomb here or a bomb there. That's what that mayor was saying.
Actually, Steve, I love you, but I'm going to call you out. That you're taking the mayor completely out of context.
Well, and you're taking Donald, not you. No. And a lot of people are taking Donald Trump out of context. It works both ways.
What? Not on these tweets.
I rest my case.
But that is not what the mayor said at all when he did that. Okay, we'll be right back. We've got more to come. Breathe collectively, exhale, because guess what? It's Friday at least. From President Trump clarifying his party affiliation.